Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's. All things summer, all at the right price.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to Season 16, episode number 3513. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. And you are in the Men's Room. On tap today, Ryan Castle joins us, and once again, we will sit and spin now. And just like Costco, we offer up free samples with 10 songs you might not know sampled older songs. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, the Men's Room Shout of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Clack, clack. Drink it to dry.
All right, here we go to California, where a pigeon racing event sees multiple people stabbed with swords and shot. Meanwhile, a Utah man enters a Mormon church in St. George and shows 100 people what he's got. Man in Japan gets the very first ever drink and droning arrest. Florida woman steals $25,000 in jewelry from home as a Florida power worker she was dressed. And a man climbs to the top of the Supreme Scream Tower at a California amusement park. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, former Amazon CEO and current billionaire Jeff Bezos, he made history earlier today when he and 3 passengers lifted off on Blue Origin's debut flight into space. Now the rocket returned safely about 10 minutes later, and this, of course, follows on the heels of Richard Branson's spaceflight aboard his Virgin Galactic ship. See, it used to be that if you wanted to go to space, you spent years of extensive training as an astronaut. Now you just need a lot of money, or a direct relation to one of the founders, or maybe you were an investor in their programs, like actor Ashton Kutcher. That's right. He bought a ticket to fly in Virgin Galactic, but now he's not going to go. Why? Because his wife, Cheeto-stealing Mila Kunis, she wouldn't let him. And it's just that simple. And anyone who's married or has a significant other, you can already picture exactly how that conversation went. It's been the same conversation since 6000 BC when Ragnar told his wife he wanted to go woolly mammoth hunting with his buddies, Halberd and Jarl. And she said no and folded her arms and then didn't talk to him for a week. Look, actor Harrison Ford, he's not immune. He's also a pilot. A lot of people know that. And he had been a pilot until his wife, actress Callista Flockhart, forbade him from flying anymore. Now, in her case, she's not folding her arms and giving him the stink face. It said he kept crashing his plane basically every time he took it off. She just said, babe, I love you. I don't want you to die. And frankly, you can't frickin' fly very well. So he doesn't fly anymore. But look, you don't need a significant other to deal with the fun police, parents, teachers, family members, friends, co-workers, the actual police, the occasional cashier, bartenders. There's always someone who stops you from doing that thing you want to do. Sometimes it's actually a good idea, but it's always annoying. And that's what today's question is. Who told you you can't do that? Or you can't do that anymore?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. Each week, we talk openly and honestly about the hard things in life together with you. So join us and some of our dearest friends and greatest heroes to talk about anxiety, boundaries, parenting, infidelity, our bodies, loving and losing, all of the things that make us human. Listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things on Odyssey and everywhere you get your podcasts.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
On the show's and away we go. Welcome to season 16, episode number 3513. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat in the studio live. Ryan Castle will join us once again, and we'll sit and spin. And as we've been doing a lot of stuff with covers, not that these are necessarily covers today, but what they are songs that have sampled other songs. And the irony of this is, you probably didn't realize it. Some are just blatantly obvious. Sure. Yeah. When someone takes a song, you probably got a pretty good idea what that beat is. I mean, we know when Vanilla Ice did his song.
No, he straightened
Baby,
it up. He straightened that up.
That was really Under Pressure from Queen and David both.
No, because theirs went dum dum da da dum dum. His went dum 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 da da dum dum. Miles, you got to let it go.
Oh, okay.
He cleared it all up.
You know, to me, I said, hey, you're ripping those guys off. But it's a sample. It's not really a rip off. He did his own song with it. But at the time, that was kind of new to me, where you take somebody else's music and just, lay your own stuff down on top of it. But either way, that is in fact a sample. These samples aren't necessarily as obvious, but when you hear these songs that probably been out within the past decade or so, you'll realize that, they sample other songs. Sure. From back in the day. So that's what we've got. 10 songs you might not know sampled older songs. And by the way, on our Men's Room Happy Hour today, exclusively on the Odyssey app, we're going to delve into the world of, once again, a positive drinking story. We talk all the time about, man, I had the best bourbon the other night, or I got a chance to have a drink at dinner, how fantastic it was, and just,
old fashioned.
Yeah, having a nice cold draft of some great craft beer you got. None of that today. None of that. These are the least classy beverages you can have. So we're going to do a little survey on our Men's Room Happy Hour, and the survey is going to go like this. We're going to go through some of the least classy beverages and find out in this room who of us has sampled or tried the most out of the least classy beverages.
I'm going to guess Ted.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet mine's pretty high.
Ted, yeah.
You think so? You think you're going to take it? Okay.
I think we'll all do pretty well. I just feel like Ted will edge us out.
Yeah, and you'll probably be able to give us a little bit of an education on a lot of these because you worked in a liquor store, you're a bartender, so whether it was in the well or you sold it or whatever, you're going to know a lot of these.
Yeah,
especially based on probably where you worked,
where you grow up.
I mean, they're not coming in asking for, a bottle of Dom or anything, I'm assuming, at this joint, right?
Yeah, they were looking for Cisco.
Okay, all right, well, that's on the list. So not only do we have the least classy beverages, but we have the effing news for you coming up. Mm-hmm. And by the way, if you haven't checked out the Men's Room Happy Hour, it's a little something we do Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock. It is exclusively on Odyssey. If you don't have the Odyssey app, download that now for free at the App Store or in Google Play. Favorite the Happy Hour in your app. And that way at 6 o'clock, you can just switch on over. We're going to go straight from being on the air exclusively to the Happy Hour, which allows us to get into some stuff in a little bit more deep detail.
Somebody here, they're obviously anticipating sit and spin with the samples.
Yeah.
So they wanted to point out, and they're right about this. It's one of those things I never realized till I was an adult, and I listened to this song over and over with the kids, but Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and the Alphabet Song are the same song.
Mm-hmm. And so is Mary Had a Little Lamb is also Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
No.
It's pretty close.
It's close, but it's not the same.
It's pretty close.
It's like the same band, different. It's like a song from AC/DC. Yeah, but Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and if I get this right, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star was written by Mozart when he was like 5 or 6 years old, which means the Alphabet Song, technically, is a sample of Mozart.
Huh.
Just throwing it out there.
That might be one of his most popular songs.
I would guarantee you it is the most popular song he's written. It is universally understood. It is universally known, but nobody knows he wrote it. And granted,
I didn't know that
he was 5. That's why it sounds like a 5-year-old wrote it.
Well,
but it was Mozart.
It's iconic. I mean, if you're Rick Rubin and you run into Mozart, you say, hey, man,
we're going to redo this and strip it down.
We got to go back to your roots, man. You're getting way too complicated on this stuff. Remember when you came out with Twinkle, Twinkle, man? That was your heart. That was your soul. You know what I mean?
Get back to it.
We got to go back to that.
So Rick Rubin does, right?
Yes, he does.
Once you get famous, you go back to him to strip it back down.
Once you get overly complicated, you always feel like you're a better musician. The more you play, the more you know. But that's not what Rick Rubin does. He takes you back to Twinkle, Twinkle. Makes you do the basics again. Get that right. And that
would be the ultimate mashup.
Yeah, exactly. And today on the question, who told you can't do that or you can't do that anymore? Obviously, most of the time when you hear this, you're dealing with someone in a position of authority, whether that is your parents, whether that is your teacher, whether that is your friend's parents when you go over to their home.
Sure.
When you get older, any relationship that you've ever been in, if you do something stupid, you realize that somebody is looking out for hopefully your betterment if they love you, and they just don't want anything bad to happen to you or for you to, I mean, look. A lot of people out there, and depending on your relationship and everything else, and how close you've come to teetering that line between life and death, a lot of times, look, you can have that motorcycle for a while, but we're going to get married, and as soon as we have that kid, I don't want you on that motorcycle anymore because I want you to be around to be a father. And there's a reason they call them a donor cycle when you go to the emergency room is because you're the guy that needs to fill that out because more than likely you're the one who's going to be donating your organs. So,
but I feel like you have to, in my opinion, you have to have earned the distinction once you're an adult. Mm-hmm. Parents were just looking out for you because you're knuckleheads and morons. But once you're an adult, have I done something to get you to say no to this? So, if you say, hey, maybe you shouldn't go to Vegas, which I don't hear, but I would understand because every time I get back home from Vegas, she's always like, what did you do? I'm like, I did exactly what you think I did. I just did more of it than you think I did.
Also has to do with the company that you're in. Sometimes that trip would be perfectly fine. Other times that trip is not okay at all. Depending on what you got into the last time, so like anything else, either we want to know you can't do that or you can't do that anymore. And we'll start with Ashton Kutcher. And as we get the news today that Jeff Bezos successfully went into space, I was hoping that we were not going to wake up this morning and find out that the world's richest man had passed away.
Getting to space is the easy part. It's just ballistics.
Also,
anyone can do that. It's getting back safely. That's it's kind of like flying a plane. Mm-hmm. I can fly a plane. Now, can I land a plane? No, I cannot.
But here's the difference.
Landing's key.
Yeah.
Right. That is really, really, really the important part of the whole trip to me.
Maybe your spouse owns and you guys have a Tesla, right?
All right.
And you say you're going to go on a road trip. And whoever's driving the vehicle says, I want to put this bad boy in autopilot for a while, right? Okay, well, if you get used to that, the person might be very uncomfortable in the passenger seat. And look, when I'm in the car, whenever you're on a trip or whatever, I would really prefer that you don't use autopilot because you're checking your phone. You're supposed to keep your hands on the wheel.
That's all. You can use autopilot by yourself. It's not with my kids or me.
Right, and that's the thing with this rocket that went up today was the fact that there were no pilots aboard. So when you think to yourself, would I get in a Tesla and punch in autopilot and give the destination and feel safe getting from point A to point B? They did that by going to space.
Sure.
which is,
But again, I feel better about that because here's the difference by going to space. I'm going up and I'm coming down. So if it can do that, I'm fine. There is no traffic. If you said now there are going to be 8,000 other rockets taking off at the same time, then hell no.
But what about when you re-enter the Earth's atmosphere? I'm assuming by being in space, they have gone past that point where there's like a burn or whatever we used to see with the shuttles. Are they not
They're
that
just
high?
above it. Someone's getting ticky-tacky about it. Look, they got above the atmosphere. But again, if that's programmed in, I don't sweat it so much. They throw things to Mars to do that. But again, there's not a lot of stuff going to Mars. Like, traffic is the key. And also on roads. For me, the difference between going down a rock, like, I'm just going up. Go straight. And I know you got to do it at a bit of an angle, blah, 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 all this stuff. But you can any idiot can pre-program that, honest to God. But with a car, I don't know if the person in front of me is going to slam on the brakes, if they're going to switch lanes, if the road turns, if there's a detour, if there's other traffic. Like, to me, going to save sounds on autopilot sounds a lot safer than going down the road.
What if you accidentally donked into a satellite dish? You know
then you're dead.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, isn't there a bunch of those sitting up there? Or is that maybe higher than what they travel?
They should be higher. That is one. They kind of have this thing down to a science, which I know people don't like science, but they do have it down to a science where we're not going to launch you into crap.
Okay. So it's like the FAA. There's a safe zone.
Right. We have a general idea of where crap is. They have transponders so that we know where crap is, and then our goal is to not launch you directly into that crap.
Okay.
I also think with the autopilot in the car and the Tesla, it depends on who you're with. Like, I've been in one. And like
on autopilot?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Because we were like, let's see how it works. But it's like, it's got signals to tell you to touch the wheel and not.
Right. And
These people are like just going to sleep.
Ignoring it.
So what kind of commands does it give? Does it tell you when to take an exit or let you know that you're taking it? Does it turn the signal on for you when it's switching lanes? Does it do that kind of stuff?
Man, I don't know that we switched lane. We literally were on an open stretch on I-5, and we were like, just turn it on. We want to see how it works. But if you go too far left or right, it brings you back over, and it beeps. And you can only have your hands off it. Now, this is a couple of years ago for a certain amount of time before it's like, hey, you put your hands on it.
Is it like Netflix? Like, are you still awake, brother?
Right.
Yeah.
But think about it like this.
Yes, I'm awake.
Anytime you get on a plane, I mean, it's not on. The pilots will tell you that.
Yeah.
We take off and we don't do another goddamn thing. But again, you feel better because I'm not on a street. You know, once you're on the road, it's like there's so many things to hit. Hell, you got people throwing goddamn rocks off the overpass into people's cars.
Yeah.
People wipe out. Guy on a motorcycle the other day, we were getting on 5 North. It's like right after the show. It's about 6:30. This dude blew by us, probably about 100 miles an hour on the left. I just want you to understand, we were in the left lane, in the tunnel on the express lanes. So he blew down the shoulder, across like 2 people, cut off a few other people, and disappeared from view. I don't know if my autopilot is going to deal with that. But again, if I'm in a rocket ship, I can't imagine like suddenly there's Elon Musk like, ooh, right next to you.
Well, we know
that would be pretty cool, though.
And he would be the one.
Right. And like Branson, they all timed it out. Like, oh, I see you.
Yeah. We all know Ashton Kutcher. It seems like any person that I've ever been involved with just thinks he's hotter than hell.
So he's a pretty attractive man.
The 70s show and 2.5 Men. He said he sold his ticket on
What's he on now? The Ranch.
Is that?
I think that's on Netflix.
Okay. He sold his ticket on the Virgin Galactic flight into space because his wife, Mila Kunis, persuaded him that it was not a smart family decision. Now, keep in mind, when Ashton bought this ticket, he bought this ticket in 2013 from Richard Branson, when Richard Branson first started talking about doing this.
Right.
So back then, it was like, yes, I want to go into space. I'm prepaying for this ticket, whatever that was. Well, in a recent interview with the website Cheddar News, which I'm sure you read every day.
Cheddar News.
The 2.5 Men actor revealed he had been due to join a flight with billionaire Richard Branson's space travel company until his other half made him reevaluate that risk. When I got married and had kids, my wife basically encouraged me that it was not a smart family decision to be heading into space when we have young children.
I think he's being diplomatic in his answer.
So I ended up selling my ticket back to Virgin Galactic. Keep in mind, Ashton Kutcher is married to Mila Kunis. Sound like he told like Shannon Williams, who lives in like Auburn, that he wasn't going to go up. I mean, this is like, this is Mila Kunis.
Right.
I mean, that's your wife. You know what I mean? And no offense to you, Shannon and Auburn.
I was like, that's Auburn Black.
You're just not Mila Kunis. You don't have Jim Beam Black. You weren't in Black Swan. You're not hotter than hell. That's just not going to happen. I mean, when your wife is Mila Kunis, I think what she says goes a lot more than your average spouse.
Without space. Like, sorry, man. I listen to a lot of things. Like, babe, I'm not going to Vegas. I'm not going to the bar to get trashed with miles. Like, it's space, man.
Well, this week, as you know, Virgin Galactic founder Branson, along with the team members that he had on board, along with pilots, they traveled to the edge of space in Spaceship 2, which makes you wonder, where's Spaceship 1, which is a wing plane with a single rocket motor that the company has spent nearly 2 decades developing. Virgin Galactic plans to conduct just one more test flight before it begins actually flying the paying customers up. Now, so far, more than 600 people have reserved tickets. Do you have any idea, Ted, what the ticket price is to take this trip into flying into space with Virgin Galactic?
With Virgin? And how long are we in space, or we just get near it?
4 minutes?
He was there for 4 minutes. Maybe you can use your frequent flyer miles.
I'll say $1.5 million.
Actually, a lot lower. I was actually shocked by this. And not that it's cheap. $200,000 to $250,000.
Ooh, I still can't afford to go.
Oh, no. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
but I thought it was, like you said, I thought it was going to be millions of bucks.
Yeah, I mean, didn't Lance Bass years ago, weren't they up to like 40 million or something when they were trying to go?
I thought did he go or did he?
I know he's on the list.
Spend $20 million or something like that. Like,
I mean, they spent
his
crazy
was
money.
outrageous.
Yeah,
you know?
But he also partially invested in the company and the technology.
But okay, so I partially invest in your company, and it still cost me $20 million. Like, you're doing it wrong.
I just
Lance.
can't believe that guy had that much coin laying around.
I think you're getting scammed.
Lance Bass?
I can't believe he had that much coin laying around. I mean, that means
He's
that
in
all those
sync.
that means all those guys had that much money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. That's amazing to me. That really is. It was supposed to be on the next flight. So basically, he was going to be on the first flight of Virgin Galactic for paying customers. So this was the first. The second one is actually the one that he was supposed to be on. Although he had a change of heart about the Virgin Galactic flight due to his wife's concerns, Kutcher insisted that his dream of seeing the galaxy is still very much alive. At some point, he says, I'm going into space. Branson's historic liftoff, by the way.
Kunis responded,
marked only the 4th test flight of the vehicle that reached the edge of space. So there you go. He basically said, I'll listen to the wife on that one. Which is a hard one to do for anybody, just on basic things in general. It's not that you don't love your wife.
I'm telling her to shut up.
Yeah, it's
Why are you worried about
There's
it?
a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? out there.
You already know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to come home drunk. We both know this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you knew where the train was going when you bought the frickin' ticket.
Yeah. Like if you're going out with a new couple for the first time.
Oh,
like,
God.
Could you just not be yourself?
I know. Don't bring up this.
Could you
don't
not,
say
please,
that.
Can you not cuss? Could you just act like a normal person? It's like, what is that supposed to
Why do you want me to go with you?
Right.
Like, I should not
What do you
meet
mean?
these people.
What do you
then.
mean? Can we make jokes? You know what I mean? Can I talk to the dude?
You
Can
know,
I
just
cuss?
don't, you know.
I mean, like, look, they're very nice. They're not just in your world. So, like, after 2 beers, please don't order any more beers. You know what I mean? Can we just cut it off then? I'm like,
no.
This is going to be horrible. You know, then you get there and you find other guys like, shots! And you're like, oh, I like this guy.
See,
you know
that's what they don't know. The guy's like, dude, I had the same conversation with my wife.
But he's going to be the one who's like egging us on. Be like, all right, wasn't my fault. It was his fault.
Sarah says he drinks too much. Don't encourage you. Like, he bought the shot.
Hey, brother, I hear you drink a lot. You got good company tonight.
Right.
Is it a Saturday?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do this.
Let's go to the bar since we have to wait for this table, right? Who told you you can't do that or you can't do that anymore? 206-421-ROCK.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
99.9 KISW. Yeah! You're in the men's room.
Our question, who told you you can't do that or you can't do that anymore? 206-421-ROCK.
Here's a perfectly good example. Here's a comment that says, thrill. Saw you at the zoo on Sunday. I was, in fact, at the zoo on Sunday. I was going to go say hi. But my wife said, no, he's with his family. Leave him alone. It's fine to come up and say hi, man.
Don't you do that.
Yeah, it's come over and say hello. There's nothing wrong with that. And to be honest with you, my son was expecting it all day. He really was. He was bugging me about it.
He's seen the movie.
He's seen the movie, and somebody did come up and greet me, and we chatted for like one brief second, and my kid looks at me and goes, finally.
Like if someone were to come up to you in a bar and say, hey, I'd like to buy you a beer. I'll buy you a shot then. That's perfectly fine. What's wrong with that?
The only time I've gotten grief about it is not a girl I was with, but my buddy's wife, a good friend of mine.
Sure.
And we were going to a surprise party, but we showed up at we'll say 7.
Okay.
There were strict instructions. If you're there between 7 and 7:15, you got to wait it out.
All right.
So we go to the Mexican joint around the corner, and we sit down, and the bartender's like, Ted Smith, what can I get you? And she's like, is it going to be like this all night? I was like, hey.
Why does it matter to you?
This is good for us.
People are being nice. I mean, one thing if everybody wanted to come up to me like F you and punch me in the face, but when people want to say something nice to you, I'm like, how was that a problem?
Right.
There's no problem here, man.
Yeah, it's very, very
so tell
easy.
your wife to relax.
Yeah.
But don't tell her I said that.
Yeah, the only time it's a problem is if I obviously am in an argument with a girl.
Oh, God. There's nothing worse than like you're having that heated kind of tension, you're trying to keep it down. So like, hey, man, what's up? Like, hi.
Please, I'll be at the next game. Just say hi to me then.
Hello, Ken. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So my wife has encouraged me, and I've decided to finally go along with not road raging and not giving the middle finger.
That's probably a pretty good idea based on the stories that, especially during the pandemic, I want to say it was 43 averaged a week shootings on interstates across the country. People getting involved in physical altercations. You don't know who the other car is. You don't know the condition of that person. I mean, the thumbs down's even the worst. I've realized that, too. It's
but I feel like, flipping someone off, like to me, in the car, in that case, it's like, look, both parties know why the finger was popped up. Maybe you get angry, maybe you don't. But to me, in the world of driving, that's kind of like the least offensive thing you could do. Mm-hmm. It's that moment of just like, I'm pissed, you flip me off, I probably flip you off back, and then you're not another thought. But are you like getting into trouble with it?
Well, it came down to one last incident, and I was driving down I-5 on 5. I'm in the left-hand lane. We're all stacked up with traffic, and this jack wagon comes up alongside me and runs me off the road to the shoulder. I give him the finger. He gives me the finger back, and I see him sort of moving around in his car. About 2 miles up, he pulls off to the right. I pull up beside him. He's no longer holding on to the wheel. He's holding on to 2 handguns.
Jeez, that's what I'm saying. It's not worth it. It's not worth your life because somebody's an idiot. So it's not. Yeah, you got to be careful out there, man. I mean, other than that, or a rock will hit your car. Yeah,
you never know. But but the flip side is also like, look, at least you can understand. It's obviously excessive and it's stupid, and there's some weird mental illness in this country right now. But at least it's that, as opposed to I worked at McDonald's. I don't know, man. We forgot to put extra pickles on the burger you ordered, and you have jumped over the counter, and you are beating me within an inch of my life.
And think about the videos that we've seen where that has happened, but there's dash cam videos of somebody acting erratic, and then, the driver does something, but there's 2 kids in the car, like, screaming, Daddy, stop, please. You know what I mean? Like, I'm scared. Like, don't do this. Like, anything. I mean, when you have kids in your car, just chill out.
Well, I do everything different when my kids are around.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
They don't need to know. They don't need to know.
Right.
Oh, I grew up with it.
Oh,
and
your dad,
it's
from
hard.
what I've heard.
But that's just that probably keeps you from doing it, though. Like anything that I did.
It does, but right. I mean, that's what I tell people. That's why you don't hear me yell. If you hear me yell, something's gone bad.
Right. Yep.
And the tone. But right, like when you grow up with people that can't control emotions, you're right. As a kid, it was horrible
because you can't do anything about it.
No.
Yeah.
And not.
But you're a party to it. So you kind of like
when you're trapped in the car,
you feel guilty. You know what I mean? Like you did it, but you didn't do it. You're just embarrassed because, someone else is being a jackass.
I do think the problem though too, like for me, I don't have a car, but like when you walk, like I walk in the city every day.
Yeah.
So you deal with idiots all the time. But I just kind of used to it and blow it off. But I will say, people in their cars, even I have friends that are pretty calm people. But man, when in the car, they're different. Just because they're in traffic every day, and
that changes everybody, man.
Yeah.
It's like a hostility chamber. Like, all right, we're going to get in the car. We're just going to the grocery store. And even though it's 8 blocks away, you're going to hear about 20 F-bombs. It's just
I don't normally call people dumbasses. But every time I get in my car, I run into 4 of them.
But why is it that we use worse language?
But I also say it out loud, like, you dumbass. Like,
but if I call you a dumbass face-to-face, I have no problem with that. If we're in a car, even though it's the same situation, you've elevated from dumbass to sea-sucker, mother effer. I mean, and it's just because you're in the car. That's it. Somehow in there, your hostility, like as soon as you close the door, it's like, all right, I've closed the door, put on my seatbelt, and I'm already at an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10 of anger.
I think it's because people have a false sense of security because they're in their car.
Right.
And people say things that they would never say. That's why I kind of enjoy it sometimes when people get checked.
Well, look, you ever mess up and realize your window's down? Like, that dumb mother. Oh, let me roll up the window. Let me roll up the window.
Well, not only that, but I mean, like, we all might have different rules growing up in home. You know, everybody has to take off your shoes, don't take off your shoes.
Sure.
You know, whatever home you have your own rules. But when you get on the road, we all have to abide by the same rules.
In theory.
So, yeah, but you should know those rules to be able to be out there and be driving.
Right.
And if you don't know the rules, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. Like, you're a dumbass. It's like, you have to know you can't just drive in the left lane with California plates from Seattle all the way to Sacramento. And I'm sure the guy that I was behind the other day didn't even leave that lane the entire time other than to get gas. He just stayed. And, like, I was trying to get over, and he's like, what? Like, I'm like, dude, you're in a freaking fast lane, and you're going 60 miles an hour in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. Get the F out of the way.
I almost lost my mind. And you got to be cool.
I do lose my mind
in Uber.
I was going to say, dude, you're not the calmest driver.
No, but Uber. All right. So the thing with Uber, like, I know I'm going to get rated. And I had a woman last week, and I cannot explain this. She picks me up. She's very good. She was very nice. Offered me bottled water, all that crap, right? And we got on I-5. I'm just trying to get home. And there are cars blowing by us. Right? And I'm kind of looking down at my phone. So I look up and realize, like, God damn, like, it was almost like we were falling backwards. You know what I mean? So, but I looked at the speedometer. Again, this is I-5. Everyone else is doing about 70. We're in an HOV lane. There's no traffic when you're in the express lanes. All the traffic's on the regular lanes, right? So I'm like, dude, we got this. This is the reason you want to be on this. She did 45.
45 in the express lane.
And like I said, she's very nice, kind of chatty. So we're having a decent conversation. But in my mind, like, can you please, goddamn, go faster? But I can't.
You're an idiot.
I'm like, dude, if I say this,
it's going to negatively ruin my Uber rating.
But it's like, oh my God. I mean, everyone was passing us. So what killed me is, so when you're in the express lanes, you just have more space. You can gun it a little bit more. But the people on 5 North regular, whatever you want to call it, there's always traffic.
Yeah.
They were going by us. I'm like, oh my God, there's no one in front of us for like 100 yards because everyone on 5 North has already gone by. If I got in this goddamn Prius in downtown Seattle, if you were in Tacoma at the time, you passed me before I got to Northgate. That's how slow this woman was going, and I'm losing it's like being in a time machine. I started wanting to talk like this. Why are we going so slow? I mean, don't you feel self-conscious when every freaking car on the road, not that they pass, and they pass you like this.
But you're not even aware. You're not even
No.
cognizant that this is going on. Here's an idea. If you're not in the HOV lane, this is the main thing they should teach you in driving school. If a car passes you on the right, you are in the wrong lane. Move over one. That means you're going too slow for that lane.
To her credit, she was in the right lane. But even the people that were originally behind us, blink around. I could not take it. I didn't say anything. I was just nice.
I think I have once just said, like, hey, you got to keep up with the flow of traffic.
Dude, I debated it, but I'm like, I knew that if I open my mouth in that moment, it's going to come out wrong. Even if I'm like, hey, can you speed up? And I'm like, can you hurry the F up? And I'm like, don't say it, because your mouth is not going to say what your brain wants you to say. You're going to do this wrong.
Who told you can't do that or you can't do that anymore? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Hey, so real quick, about 10 years ago when my kid was in the Scouts, they all went up for the swim badge. We're all at the pool. Adults on the bench on the one side, all the kids at the end. They're jumping in left and right. My kid comes walking back to me in tears. I'm like, what's going on? They well, he said I couldn't swim that good, so I'm not allowed to do it. I was like, come with me. I stood shoulder to shoulder to this little punk. Now, granted, I'm 6'1", 6'2", 280. Looking at him, I told my kid, jump in and go. He was the only one that swore said, don't you ever tell my son he can't do anything.
What if he said, you can't jump off a building and fly?
Well, that'd be one thing. And
All right. Yeah. They don't have a merit badge for that, however.
Exactly.
Yeah, but being scout leaders, I mean, he's supposed to boost the kids up. Tell him he can't do it.
What? How far along in his? If he's trying to pursue Eagle Scout, how many merit badges does it to get Eagle Scout?
21.
21. All right. So how far along is he in his 21 journey?
I had 24.
Oh no, he was like 5 in. He was still in just going to Webelos.
Oh, okay.
All right.
One quick question for you. I've always wondered. My brother did Cub Scouts and went to Webelos, became a Boy Scout because that's him. Yep. Anyone know what Webelos means? Like Boy Scout, I get. Cub Scout, I understand. Webelos.
It's actually...
We'll be Loyal Scouts?
Correct.
What is it?
We be Loyal Scouts.
Be Loyal Scouts.
Mm-hmm. What do they come up with this in Harlem?
It's a dumb thing.
We be Loyal Scouts?
It's one of those dumb things that they wedge
Do they have an English merit badge?
No.
The hell is that?
No.
We be Loyal Scouts.
Yeah.
Okay, Tarzan. Jesus Christ. I felt better when I didn't know that. That is so stupid. We be Loyal Scouts as Webelos.
Yeah. And then you put a scarf around your neck and skip through the woods.
God damn. We be Loyal Scouts.
That is kind of quiet.
That's when they ask their one oxygen-deprived friend, hey, what should we call them between Cub Scout and Boy Scout? We got to have something. We be Loyal Scouts. Thanks, Gary.
Yeah.
There it was. Jesus. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Hey, guys. Love the show.
Oh, thank you, man.
Appreciate it, Jeff.
Try to listen every day.
Nice.
We try to do it every day.
Mm-hmm. We're here. We try.
This story kind of ties into with what you guys are talking about. It's like I was telling Mike. So I'm sitting at a green light. Or a turn light to go left, right? And I got to cross so much lanes of traffic. The light turns green, and I don't see this, but someone's coming in the other lane on a bike and clips the front of my car. So I'm kind of freaked out. I slam on the brakes. He doesn't really even get hurt. He just kind of walks off the bike. So I step out, and I'm getting ready to see if he's okay. The guy behind me has the audacity to say, don't you know what you're supposed to do at a green light? And I looked at him, and he goes, you're supposed to proceed with caution. I was like, okay, yeah.
Good times. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why would you say it like that? Like, you want me to punch you in the face, don't you? Like, you want to get punched in the face. Proceed with caution. I don't know. That just bugs me.
Right.
You just had to add that one little thing on the end.
Yeah.
With caution. You should probably speak to strangers with caution, too.
Yeah. That's always a good one. Who said you can't do that or you can't do that anymore?
Hello, Shannon. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
We've had some excitement in New Hampshire.
What happened?
Manchester. There's 3 separate shootings in Manchester alone over the weekend.
Oh, congratulations.
Is that why you think if you're really quiet that they won't hear you, so they won't be there, so they won't
and everybody
shoot
else
you?
can hear me fine. So
they hear you. Don't get too loud.
Well, there was one right down the street from my house.
Well, yeah. It's called America.
A guy carjacked another guy, and the guy carjacking shot him in the face.
Well, that's why you don't carjack people. Yeah. Because they might shoot you in the face.
No.
Did you tell him not
to? The carjacker shot him.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you tell him that he should not do that anymore?
Yeah, no, I tried to stay out of it.
Okay, that's probably a good idea.
I was in bed.
Yeah. Okay. Don't let him know.
I was in bed, so I stayed out. Okay.
Yeah.
So what did someone tell you can't do, Shannon?
All my life I've been told I can't do stuff.
Such as?
And you have a laundry list of examples.
Let's see. Oh, I couldn't continue dance class because of my eyesight.
What?
Who said you couldn't dance? Because maybe they were just trying to do you a favor.
I don't know. I was good.
Okay.
And I could memorize tap, jazz, ballet routines. I danced from 7 to 10. From 7,
And so was it the dance
8.
instructor or your parents had told you?
I don't know, because I don't believe what my mother... My mother has 2 different stories. She says that I was having trouble spotting. You know, if you look at something, you have to focus on that spot.
Did she take you to the eye doctor?
Huh?
Did she take you to the eye doctor?
Oh, they're useless. But yes, she fine.
Wait, did you say your eye doctor is useless?
The person who went to school for
They all
8 years? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, what else, Jen?
Karate.
Why'd you have to get rid of karate?
But no, I didn't get taken out of karate. Someone said, you can't do that. You can't see.
Oh, does this all go back to the eyesight?
Does this go back to your vision the entire time?
Yeah.
Have they ever watched like the old karate flicks? Because I'm telling you, if it was an old man and he was blind, he was an ass whipping machine.
Yeah, he had like one white eye.
Right. He laughed a lot.
Did you guys ever see Bloodsport, the original?
Yeah, 100 years ago, sure.
Okay. There's a point at the end where Chung Lee throws some powder at him. At Frank Dukes.
Right. Okay.
He can't see. Everything's blurry and everything's shaking. Remember that part?
Well, yeah.
So he basically can't see. He couldn't see where he was coming from.
We know that.
Right, but I mean, with karate, you're talking about a combat sport.
And it's not a movie.
Right, it's not a movie. So, like, with boxing, if somebody gets an eye that, like, they can't see out of, eventually the ref says, hey, we got to stop this because
the other guy is going to hit him on that side as much as he wants.
Right, I don't know about dancing, but with, like, a sport like that, like, you got to be able to see somebody throwing a punch or a kick at you.
Not necessarily. I mean,
maybe Tai Chi, Shannon. But there's a guy. There was a guy who was a Major League Baseball player, right?
Yeah.
And he was having some issues, and he tried to take his own life. And when he shot himself in the face, right? He lost his vision in his left eye. His right eye. He tried to make a comeback. He did pretty well, but ultimately, what happened was he just determined it was too hard to play at that level because he could not see.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't shoot yourself in the face.
So, like, are you allowed to drive?
No, I've never thought in my life.
Why can't you drive?
My sight's too bad.
So just understand there's a level there where there's certain things. Like, I would never want you to be a knife thrower. You know what I mean? Where someone stands on the wall and you throw knives at them because
that would be okay because they do it blindfolded.
You can't see.
Just a dartboard will do.
Okay.
How bad is your vision? Like, what is your legal prescription?
I don't have a prescription for anything. Glasses don't help.
Oh, so you're to the point where you really just can't see.
No, I can. It really kind of sucks because I'm in between. I'm not. Picture a donut, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Already am.
All right. Glazed. What type of donut?
With some. What was that, Ted, that you mentioned? Hidden Valley.
You want sprinkles?
Hidden Valley popcorn.
You want a donut with ranch dressing on it?
That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, you're wild, but I'm in.
Shannon, I think, and I'm not just saying this. I think you owe it to yourself to go to a different optometrist.
I have seen them all. Trust me, I've seen.
Go to another one.
There is no more to go to.
Okay, you've seen them all.
He was
shot in the car jacket.
How could you see any of them if you can't see?
Oh, don't be smart. You can't.
All right. I'm picturing the donut. It's covered in ranch. How's it like your eye?
Yeah.
Now, the hole is what I can't see.
Okay.
So directly in front of you, the dead center.
So you would bite into the hole and there'd be nothing there. I would get a Danish. Or maybe a jelly fill.
Maybe that's
why a Boston cream.
Maybe that's why they don't want you to drive, because you can't see what is specifically in the center of your vision.
Right.
You can see everything other than what is directly in front of you, which in the world of driving, no offense, that to me, that is the most critical part of driving, is seeing the thing directly. If I don't see the ranch covered the donut, I at least need to see that hole. That's all.
Who said you can't do that or you can't do that anymore? 206-421-ROCK.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's. All things summer, all at the right price.